Shut the fuck up. Thank you. What a lovely welcome. Just for that, I'm going to try my hardest tonight. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rick, relax. We've already had our money's worth just seeing you. What? You're a legend. Shut up. Why is he... Huh? I'm not a god. Why is that? I'm just an ordinary guy, you know, going around talking to people. Sort of like Jesus. In a way, but better. Well, I've actually turned up, so... Thank you, and welcome to my new show, Humanity. I don't know why I called it that. I'm not a big fan. I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends, they guard us, they guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours, so they sort of go, "Poor, you're well HIV, fuck," you know. And you go, "You can smell AIDS on someone?" Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, "Right, dogs." And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. So yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh, God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world. And it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, "I was offended." Oh. Why? He said an horrible thing. We said loads of horrible things. Yeah, but that was a thing that I care about. That's the thing about offence, isn't it? It's about feelings, and feelings are personal. I don't care about the so-called backlash, you know, comedian in hot water. Ooh, you know. But my girlfriend Jane, she does worry a bit, and she reads things. Oh, why are they? What have you said? Why? I go, don't worry about it. They're not coming to the house. Fuck them. So I wind her up. I pretend I'm going to say much worse things than I ever would. You know. Think of that. I have to make up worse jokes than I actually just to scare my girlfriend. So when I'm doing the Golden Globes, we go out about a week before. It's in LA. We fly out, right? And I'm writing jokes as the ceremony approaches. And, you know, they release sort of more presenters. And I take my pick. I go, "Oh, yeah, I've got a good intro for them. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'll introduce him. Yes." And about 3 days before this last one, right, just to wind Jane up, I said, oh, I got a good intro. She went, what? I said, Bill Cosby would make our next presenter sleep on the couch. Please welcome Helen Mirren. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. She went, you're not going to do it? I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I got her again. I said, is this too much then? I said, not even Bill Cosby carries enough tranquilizer to bring down this next magnificent beast. Please welcome Melissa McCarthy. I didn't do it. I'd never tell a joke like that. It's horrible. I was just doing it to annoy Jane. I'd never even think of that. So don't... Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. I'll just go on. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. He was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big... But I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man, that was years ago, I'm saying, right, and she went to the doctor, right, and knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone, do you know what so, like, come in, and he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went, oh, hi, Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So, Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I thought, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And I went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect... I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke... Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar. And go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people. A Wish Foundation. They're great, and they give these dying kids their, like, one wish. And if it's me, I always say yes. And I always start the video the same way. I go, why didn't you wish to get better? What, you fucking retarded as well? I don't do that either, okay? These are all jokes, all right? I don't even use that word in real life, the R word. You just used it, Rick. Yeah, in a joke. That's not real life, is it? I'm playing a role. You sounded pretty convincing. Yeah, because I'm good. You wouldn't level that accusation at other art forms. You wouldn't go up to Sir Anthony Hopkins and go, oh, I saw you in Silence the Lambs. You a cannibal, are you? No, I was playing a role. Oh, seemed pretty convincing. Yeah. It's good. And I'm good, and that's why I do things well. Imagine if I came out here and did things not very well, so you knew I was joking. That'd be fucking retarded. Has anyone ever bothered asking the dolphins if they mind swimming with dying kids? You know what I mean? Because that can't be fun for somebody. They're like flipping around, and suddenly dumps a truckload of pale teenagers flailing. And the dolphin's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck's this? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, let them do it. Oh, fuck. They're all dying. Of what? That one just stuck his fingers in my fucking blowhole. He's not going to be around for long, nor am I if I can't fucking breathe. It's very sad. But we all die. We all know we're going to die. And we all do die. So it doesn't really matter if we die one at a time along the way or all at once in one big final Armageddon. The result is we're all going to be dead one day and we're all going to be dead forever. And I've been to a lot of funerals in my time. You live this long, you know a lot of people, they die, right? And I don't mind funerals because it's the end. You know what I mean? I hate weddings. Oh, fucking hell. There's so much hope. You know what I mean? And they're needy and arrogant. It's out. They go, oh, do you want to come and watch us for 12 hours? No, fuck no. Even the invite is arrogant, isn't it? It's like a royal decree. You are cordially invited. It's not a fucking honour. I don't want to go to your shitty wedding. Do you know what I mean? And then you go, oh, right, yeah, when is it? And they go, 2 years' time. They know you haven't got an excuse for 2 years' time. So you just have to hope that one of them dies. You know what I mean? And so you go, oh yeah, I'll be there, yeah, where is it? And they go, India. Oh, fuck off. I'm not having injections for you, you boring bastards. And I've got a big family now, a big extended family, and there's always one of them getting married, and they know I've got a bit of cash, so I can't give them a tea set anymore. I've got to get them their first fucking house. You know what I mean? I've got a big family because I had older brothers and sisters, and they all had loads of kids, and their kids have had loads of kids, and their kids have had loads of kids, because we're chavs, basically. There's a new baby every Christmas. It's one of those families. You know what I mean? I go home, it's crowded. I go, oh, who's this? That? Oh, yours? Oh, well done. I don't know him, I don't know her. You know what I mean? It's like... But what I've done over the last couple of years, I've got them each individually, right, in private, and I've told them that I'm leaving my entire fortune to just them, right? But to keep it secret. So they all love me, right? And I'm not doing a will, so my funeral is going to be a fucking bloodbath. I'm at that age now where people ask me what I've got planned for my funeral. Even journalists say, oh, what's your funeral? I go, I don't know, I haven't planned it. I go, no, it's fucking depressing. Also, I don't care. I'll be dead. They go, don't care about what people think of you. No, I'll be dead. They go, what about your legacy? Fuck my legacy. You can't plan your legacy. I think of all these people who died thinking they'd be loved forever, eminent people going, there is a statue of me in the town square. And now they're pulling down the statues, aren't they? Going, pull down this fucking statue. Why? He was a slave trader. Pull down the fucking statue. He built the hospital. Should we pull that down? No, leave the hospital. Leave the hospital. Just pull down the fucking statue. Pull down the statue and dump it in the canal. He built the canal as well. It doesn't matter, just pull down the fucking statue. I don't think you should whitewash history. If you find out something new, add to it. Like if there's a statue and it's got Lord Whimsy, trader, philanthropist, add bit racist. Or one of those blue plaques on a house, go, Sir Robert Spuke lived here. Author, poet, pedo. I think we live too long. That's why we have time to worry about all this. We're not meant to live this long. As a species, we're about 300,000 years old as Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. You know? So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years. And for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics and medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason with proper care and attention that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right? Which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. You know? My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live. Right? And for the last couple of years, she was in her home, and my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognise him, and then she didn't know who she was, or, you know, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, about some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realised, oh, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie. Then he went, "Oh, God." And he ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." I've been looking into infant mortality rates recently. For research, it's not a fucking fetish. Like, a child born today in the UK has a percentage chance of survival of 99.8%, which is incredible. I thought, is that just the mollycoddled West? And I was putting in third world countries. And even in Africa, it's like 96.5%. In the wilds of Africa, where everything wants to fucking eat a newborn baby, babies are vulnerable enough, aren't they? In Africa, a baby can be born in a mud hut. There's a lion outside. It's covered in blood because they can't wash it. They've got no water. Oh, and it's already got AIDS. Now, by the time that joke goes on Netflix, it'll be nuanced. There'll be an underlying satirical point, I'll claim. But until then, all I've got is, baby's got AIDS. I know that it's funny. I just have to work out why. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. Also, by the time that goes on Netflix, I'd have been playing arenas around the world. It'll be hitting hard, people will be laughing. So if you are an African woman and you just had a baby in Africa, and the doctor goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, your baby's got AIDS." You go, "Oh my God, you're there. You know, a little baby's got, you're there with your husband," and you go, "Oh, our baby's got AIDS, Jeff." Jeff. I know, Tracy, I'm gutted too, darling. Our baby's got AIDS. Oh, should we watch some comedy to cheer us up? Yeah. What, Netflix? Yeah. What, Ricky Gervais? Duh. Yeah. And they're sad that their baby's got AIDS, but they're sort of laughing along. Armageddon, And it gets to that bit, baby's got AIDS. And she goes, "Oh my God, Jeff, what? Why are they all laughing at us and our baby with AIDS?" And Jeff goes, "Well, they're not laughing at us per se." She goes, "Well, they are. They've named us and everything. They're literally laughing at us in this bit." And Jeff goes, "Yeah, but we're a fictional couple with a fictional baby with AIDS. Anyone offended by that is a fucking moron." And then he goes, "And at least he didn't do the accent." So... And then she goes, "Yeah, but only because Jane begged him not to." It's funny because it's true. I think we get our sense of humour from our parents, whether we realise it or not, particularly working class kids, particularly from working class mums, because they're busy, they're doing everything. They're keeping men in check, they're bringing up kids, they're going to work, they're saving the world. They haven't got time. They have to frighten their kids into behaving well. They have to go to dark places to shock them into not fucking dying. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if I was little and my mum made my tea, And it wasn't my favourite, it was boiled potatoes instead of chips every day. And I went, I don't like them. My mum would go straight to, of course you do. There's children your age in Africa and they're starving to death, right? And I go, Jesus, all right. You know what I mean? The true story, I was 7 years old, right? And I'd been playing in the park and I came running in and my mum went, Ricky, come here, sit down. There must have been a local pedo incident, right? And my mum went, never go in the toilets in the park again. And I went, why? She knew she couldn't explain paedophilia to a 7-year-old, right? But this is what she came up with. She said, because there's a man going round and he's cutting little boys' willies off. I was like, oh, what? That's a fucking thing, is it? That's a... I didn't sleep for a week. And it worked. I never went in those fucking toilets again. But she knew instinctively. If she'd have gone, Ricky, come in, sit down. What's the matter? Never go in the toilets again. Why not? There's a paedophile. What's a paedophile? Oh, he's a man who gives you sweets and puppies. Bring it on, you know what I mean? At 7 years old, I'd wank off anyone for a puppy. I'd be like that, wouldn't it? Be like that. Gonna get a puppy here. I'm getting a puppy. I'm getting a puppy. Gonna get a puppy here. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I cannot do it left-handed at all. Fucking hell, come on. Have you been drinking? Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. Fucking hell. Oh. I've started, so I'll finish. Oh, fuck me. Oh, what sort of puppy is it? A what? A Labrador? Throw in a kitten, I'll give you a blowjob. I'll go over that. Kitten, puppy, come. Oh, I miss the local pedo. Don't you? There was always one, wasn't there? Outside the school, you'd be with your mum and she'd go, look, there's a paedophile. Because he had the uniform of the pedo. You know what I mean? You could spot old bloke, bald on top, long down the sides, like that. And I'll go, that's a dirty pedo. Say hello, 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 like that. Dirty, look, that's what a fucking pedo looks like. Dirty fucking paedophile, right? That's what they look. If he touches you, we'll burn his house down. It was a good system. You know what I mean? But then Michael Jackson comes along and he breaks the mould, doesn't he? Because he's not an ugly bloke outside the school. I'm not saying Michael Jackson definitely was a paedophile. No one knows, only Michael and all those people he paid off. All I'm saying is that kids loved Michael. Kids loved Michael just to look at him, like a little Disney cartoon, wasn't he? And then his voice, hello, you know, that... Oh, Michael Jackson got up to any kid he wanted. Probably not like that, didn't he? Probably like that. My last special only dropped on Netflix the Christmas before last. And in that special, I talked about the previous special going to #1 because of all the complaints. And the silly cunts did it again. When will they learn? It's like, honestly, it's like, ban it from the #1 everywhere. My name, like, trended for 3 days that Christmas. I wasn't the only comedian who trended that Christmas. Do you know the comedian Rosie Jones? She's got cerebral palsy, and she was on a TV quiz show, and the trolls came out on Twitter. Going, she's not funny. People saying, you're only saying that because she's disabled. You're only defending her because she's disabled. Sort of back and forth, right? But that wasn't her biggest controversy of the year. This is a true story. Earlier that year, Rosie Jones made a documentary for Channel 4 about her condition, her plight, some of the trolling she gets, some of the insults she gets called, right? And she provocatively called the documentary, Am I a Retard? Yeah, great. Power to her, right? Now, the people who complained were disability campaigners. They had a go at her. They went, you can't use that word. She went, what? Why? I said, because you're physically disabled. That's a derogatory term for people with mental disabilities. If you want to use a derogatory term, you should use one that describes your particular condition. So basically, Rosie Jones said, am I a retard? And disability campaigners said, no, you're a spastic. That's harsh, isn't it? I mean, it's context. She was using it to empower people. She was called that. She didn't go, no, that's not me. She sort of embraced it and, reclaimed the word. So disability campaigners are saying, no, you've got to be very specific, right? Only people who are actually retarded can use the word retard, right? But who's going to tell them? You know what I mean? Who's going to... You're not going to go into a room and there's Bubba sort of lying on the floor, crying in, right? And you go, all right, Bubba. He goes, yeah. Oh, no. Don't. It's a tightrope. Like that. He goes, yeah. You go, you can say retard. Why? Think, you thick cunt. Just think. Anyway, I think she should be allowed to use the word in context. Like, if she can't use the word, then I've used the word now, so I'm in trouble again. Like, actually, I didn't use the word, did I? This is a point I want to make. People say, oh, he used the word so-and-so. I didn't use the word. Using the word would be calling someone that word. That's using the word, isn't it? I said the word in a discussion about the fucking word. That should be allowed, shouldn't it, amongst adults? And if there's one thing we should all agree on, whatever side of the political fence you're on, we should all agree that free speech is still a really good thing. It always has been. And it always will be. But now there's factions of people go, oh, no, we got it, we don't like it, we've changed our mind, it wasn't going well for us, we don't like free speech anymore. People who want free speech, they only want free speech so they can go around saying awful things, which just isn't true. And even if it was, the good thing about free speech is people can say awful things back. It's a really good system, right? And you can't say anything under the laws of free speech. That's a total misconception. There are loads of caveats to free speech, all of which I agree with, actually. You can't incite violence. Good rule. You can't slander people. Good rule. You can't libel people, Fascinating fact about libel law. You can't libel the dead. So I could stand here and say, Gandhi used to take it up the arse. If I wanted. Which I do. But free speech is the most important human right there is. It's the right from which all other rights come. Without free speech, you couldn't have human rights, and we've got free speech, in theory, in this country, for a little while longer. We can criticise the government, we can criticise the police, but we should give props to a country that allows us to do that, because we're the envy of some countries. In some countries, you criticise the police, you get beaten up, or worse. You criticise the government, you can be thrown in jail for life, So they flee their oppression, quite rightly. So would you. They flee their oppression, and they come here, they go, we want to come to England. We go, why? They go, free speech. We go, come on in, welcome. What are you going to do now? We're going to go on a march. What are you going to say? How shit England is. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. That is their right. But I'm too old now not to say what I want, I want to say and do what I want all the time. I want to do my favourite thing all the time. I don't even like doing my second favourite thing if I think I could be doing my favourite thing. Do you know what I mean? Like my favourite thing is play tennis. I play every Friday. I keep Fridays free. I look forward to it. I play tennis. It sets me up for the week. So if ever on a Friday I have to do my second favourite thing, like 3 weeks ago, attend a neighbour's kid's funeral, I'm like, this is boring. But we all want respect, right? We all want respect, and we all want to raise our status in society. We can't help that. That's in our evolution. That's group selected from when gossip used to control the tribes, right? And there's still 2 ways you can raise your status in society. One, be competent at something. Like, oh, he's a good hunter. Go with him. He's good for the tribe. The other way you can raise your status is have virtue. Like, oh, he's not a great hunter, but he's wise or kind or whatever, And then, with the advent of social media, people suddenly discovered they could just say they were virtuous. No evidence, no proof, just loads of flags in their bio, right? And they would raise their status by bringing other people down, catching other people out. Oh, look what he said. Oh, he's not as virtuous as me. Look how good I am. Look how bad. And that's where the term virtue signalling comes from, right? And I hate it when they bring their kids into it. You can believe what you want, have opinions what you want, vote how you want, but go on a march, great. But when I see a 5-year-old holding a placard, he doesn't know what that says. That's the adult, you know. Like I saw someone tweet this once. Someone tweeted, my 4-year-old just looked up at me and said, Mummy, why does Rishi Sunak hate poor people? Never fucking happened, right? But the most annoying thing about virtue signalling is it's people being smug about having the morality of the age. You're what you're like because of where you are and when you are. Like, it's not brave of me to be an atheist in this country, in this year. It would have been brave 200 years ago, or mental, right? And it would be brave in some other countries, or mental, right? But people say things like, oh, I'm anti-racist. Yeah, well done. We all are. We know that's the way to be now, but it wouldn't have always been. Well, if you'd have been born in a different place or time, maybe you wouldn't. They go, no, I'd been anti-racist whenever I was born. Well, people say things like, they go, oh yeah, I'd have definitely hidden Anne Frank. Would you? Would you? Anne Frank comes to your door in the war, right? You open it, right? There's Nazis everywhere, right? She goes, can I hide in here? You go, what up? Just face-palmed Anne Frank, like that. Whoa, wait. What happens if they find you? They murder me and you. Go next door. They've got a lovely big attic, they've got a typewriter, you're gonna... over there. But I'm anti-racist, of course I am. But I'm willing to admit that if I'd have been born 300 years ago and I was white and wealthy, I'd have probably have owned slaves. Because I'd be nice to them, so shut up, right? I'd be the best slave owner you've ever fucking... No, I'd dress mine well, I'd dress my slave... Yeah, I would. I'd dress mine in little suits, right? I'd go throw those dungarees away, put a little suit on all the other slaves looking at it, I go, you fuck... And I go, right, let's go to the pub, boys, right? And all the white people go, you can't take your slaves to the pub. I go, fuck you, fascist. They're my slaves, I'll do what the fuck I want with them. We go in the pub, the barman will go, you can't bring them in here. I go, fuck, we're going to the saloon bar as well. We got little suits on it. You look good in your suits, boys. Wear socks. We wear socks. I go, I'm buying the drinks, put your money away. You haven't got any money, but you know what I mean? And then we just having a laugh, teasing each other, just bants. Like, if one of them got a bit too familiar, I would have to punish him, just to keep the status quo. If he called me gammon or something, which is the only racial slur allowed now, isn't it? That's fine. You can call a white person a gammon. It's fine for some reason. You can even be ageist. You go, you fucking old gammon, and it's totally acceptable for some reason. But I'm going to reclaim the word. You know, like black people have reclaimed the N-word, I'm going to reclaim the word gammon. So I'm going to be in Carluccio's in Hampstead, right? With all my white friends, and we'd just be hanging going, how you doing, McGammon, right? And if our black friend, Rupert, I said it was Hampstead, if Rupert came in and went, McGammon, I go, you don't fucking use that word. My point is, morality evolves. It moves with the times, like everything else. Just think of that. In a few generations, we've gone from owning slaves, being legal and respectable in the eyes of God, to a racist being the lowest of the low, isn't he? A racist is the worst person in society these days. Actually, a paedophile is the worst. Goes paedophile, then racist. A racist paedophile is the worst If I met a racist paedophile, I'd go, fuck the little black ones too, you bigot. You know? That's fine. It's fine. They won't cancel me for that. I mean, they've been trying to cancel me for about 15 years, and they've always failed. And often the people trying to cancel me have been other comedians writing for the posh papers, doing that thing they always say, he's punching down. Well, comedy should punch up. We only punch up. We punch up. Their idea of punching up, they have a go at Boris Johnson. How the fuck is that punching up? You know, the cunt is learning disabled. He's like this fucking waterlogged Gary Busey, fucking albino Eggman thing. He can't string a sentence together. Have you heard him talk? He's like, he's a fucking moron. I punch up. I have a go at people like, I don't know, Stephen Hawking, right? Yes, the greatest brain that's ever lived. He can take it. And he wouldn't even have minded when he was alive, because he's part robot, isn't he? I think he's basically a talking chair, so you can say what you want. And he was on Epstein's island, apparently, so fuck him. I don't... What was he doing there? Why do I want to go? Why? Why do I? You're like just there doing fuck. I would go. What? I know pedos who'd kill for a ticket to that, and he's just taking up a space. It's probably DEI or something, and they go, we need one. Like, I'll go. What are you doing here, Steve? He go, I'm thinking weird shit. Fuck off. That is probably a hate crime. That is... It's a big buzzword at the moment, isn't it? Hate crime. Whatever happens, someone always goes, oh, was it a hate crime? Why? Makes it so much worse. Does it? Why? If I was just walking home tonight and someone randomly jumped me, beat me up, mugged me, stabbed me, threw acid in my face, I wake up in intensive care, beep, beep, beep. I open my eyes through the bandages. There's a policeman. He goes, Miss Gervais? I go, yeah. He goes, we just want to let you know it wasn't a hate crime. I go, oh, thank God for that. Pretty hateful, isn't it? But no, a hate crime is something that's based on your race, disability, sexuality. So a guy with a gun, he wants to kill someone at random. He sees a crowd. He goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, bang, kill someone dead. He goes to court. The judge goes, why did you kill that person? He goes, no reason. The judge goes, so you're not a bigot? He goes, oh, no. The judge goes, ah. 10 years. Right? Some other guy's got a gun. He goes, I fucking hate dwarves. Right? He sees a little dwarf. He takes aim, bang, kills the dwarf dead. Right? He goes to court. The judge goes, why did you kill that dwarf? He goes, because I hate the little cunts. Right? The judge goes, you're a bigot. 20 years. Now, he shouldn't get more for shooting a dwarf. If anything, it's a harder shot, isn't it? But if I was that judge, I'd go, what, you shot a dwarf at 100 metres, yeah? Fucking props, that is 5 years in the army. Get him in the army. I feel bad about that joke, because I was reading about the tough time dwarves have had through history. Like, in medieval times, they used to torture them and kill them. They used to put them in barrels with spikes and roll them down the hill for a laugh, right? And then in Victorian times, they'd stick them in the circus and make them do dangerous fucking things. And then as late as the 1980s, right, I remember colleges used to have events like dwarf throwing, where they were like darts on a thing, or